Hey guys, Shelter here. Now in this video, I'm going to be looking at what I think are the 15 best investments that I've made on GTA. Now, I haven't made every investment on GTA. I haven't got the Doomsday Heist setup, whether it was the, I think it's the facility. I haven't got that. I haven't got the agency either, which they could be they could be up there, but anyway, this is what I'm going to be looking at, what I think are the best investments. I am level 78, but I've also had a lot of experience with this, so yeah. Let's start with number 15. At number 15 is actually the Weapons Workshop. Now this can be bought on quite a few things. You can buy this, as you can see here, on the Kasaka. You can get this on the, I think you can get this in the Terabyte. You can also get this on the Mobile Command Center. There's a few other places I think you can get this on. But basically, this lets you upgrade your weapons to the Mark II variants. And you can see here, you can upgrade. At the moment, you can only upgrade 12 weapons, but some of these are pretty good. For example, the shotgun. The shotgun's pretty good. The carbine rifle's fine. The sniper is really good when upgraded. Now, the main thing which is great about these is you can get new types of bullets. You can see here, you can get incendiary ammo, armor piercing, full metal jackets. I'm not upgraded them yet, but I've got the explosive rounds, and they are really good. You can also get like different scopes. Like you can get night vision, but I've got the thermal here. You get like different muzzles. You can get different barrels. You can get like, for some things you can get like, you can see here more stuff. You can get like tracer rounds as well. Shotguns have some of the cooler ones. You can see here Dragon Breath, flechettes, and steel buckshots. I've got explosives at the moment, which are really cool. And you can see here, there's a lot of really just cool weapon stuff you can get. I don't know if pistols can get, pistols can get like hollow points. I think so can the marksman rifle. The marksman rifle can get, FMJ and stuff like that. And you can also unequip, so you can give this thing the holographic scope, which I think is really good. Anyway, there's a lot of things to like about this, but there is a few cons. Many of this stuff is locked behind bunker research, which I'll talk about when we get to the bunker. But critically as well, there's something else which is a little bit less later in the game, which I'll talk about later, which makes this obsolete. Also, there is one thing you can do. You can actually buy, if you get this early, you can actually buy stuff outside your level range, so like the pump shotgun, the SMG, even stuff like the combat LMG and the heavy sniper. You can buy them outside your level range. Like, I'm just going to say, like, I've got the heavy sniper, I've got the combat LMG, and I'm only level 78, and I've had these for a long time. You can see here you can also customize, weapon loadouts here as well. I think this is part of the workshop as well for most of these stuff. So yeah, it's really worthwhile actually. Grabbing one of these, but you'll see later. It can be a bit shit at times. Anyways, let's move on to number 14. Coming in at number 14 is actually the casino membership. Now, you buy a casino membership. I think it costs like 500 now. Now you might be thinking, but why the casino membership? Why is this in like number, why is this at number, 14 when there's a lot more other things? Well, the main thing is, first off, the lucky wheel. Now, you can basically spin this and you'll get a random thing. I'm just going to spin it now. So I've put my daily spin. You can only spin this once every 24 hours, so let's do mine now, see what I get. I'm going to get some RP. I guess that's fine. Well, that's a lot of RP. You can see there, like, I got RP from that. Not too bad, actually. But you can also, I don't know if this counts as this, but I'm just going to do it anyways. You can get, chips like here, which, honestly, you can see I've got a lot. You also can gamble a lot, but the main thing is that big wheel, because you can get some, you can get some vehicles. I've already got the vehicle, which was a, I can't remember what it was, but it was like, it had a unique skin or something like that. It's pretty interesting, and of course I got the 500,000 RP from this. So yeah. Anyways, let's move on to number 13. Coming in at number 13 is actually something from Ammunition. It is the Special Carbine. Now, the Special Carbine is a really good weapon for the early game. It's very cheap. I believe it's like 15,000, which is very cheap. You can get this at level 1, and it's very customizable. As you can see, you can get the extended clip. I've got the drum mag equipped. You can get a flashlight. You can get a scope, suppressor if you wanted to. Obviously, you can get this finish as well, which looks kind of cool, I guess. But it's a very good, and of course you can always get other finishes. But it's very good, and it's, in my opinion, one of the better rifles in the game. I would say this one, there's only one rifle, I think, which is actually better than this in the game. It's still a fantastic rifle, and an easy pick for this list. However, it's not the best. Speaking of that, coming in at number 12 is the Carbine Rifle. Now, I actually have this Mark II'd, so I can't actually view this in Ammunition. But the Carbine Rifle is essentially just better. It's basically the Special Carbine, but better. The only thing, first off, you can upgrade it.
Off serial numbers.
Oh, God. First off, you can make it the Mark II. I know you can also do the same thing with the Carbine as well, so yeah. I've got it Mark II, but not the Carbine. The Special Carbine. Anyways, it's very good. I think it's just slightly better. It performs better, does a bit more damage, in my opinion. But yeah, you can see here, there's a little bit more damage. It performs slightly better, in my opinion, so it's a pretty good rifle. One of the best, if not the best, which is why it's coming in as the 12th best. It's also very cheap as well. Like, it's about the same price as the Special Carbine. The only downside is it's unlocked a lot later. It's unlocked at level 42. Despite that, I think it just performs better than the Carbine, so it's an actual upgrade. Anyways, there's actually an exploit. You can get this at level 1 if you have a weapons workshop. Then you can actually buy this with the weapons workshop. You can do it with all the other modifiable weapons before you can unlock them, like the assault rifle, like the pump shotgun, like the heavy sniper rifle, like the combat machine gun, which is why I've actually got them upgraded, which is why I've got these before, because these are like level 90 weapons or something like that, level 80, 90 weapons. It's why I have them before actually getting, level 90. Anyways, let's move on to number 11. Coming in at number 11 is the AP pistol. Now, the AP pistol is awesome. It is probably the best pistol in the game. I really want to get this finished. That is actually an awesome finish. Probably going to go with this one, though. But you can see how good this thing is. Like, if you've used this, you know how good it is. It's basically, it's the only full auto pistol in the game. And I know you'll be saying, but what about the machine pistol? Technically, the machine pistol is actually it's a Tech 9. But technically, it's considered an SMG, like the micro SMG, which is another good weapon. But the reason, and the mini SMG,
when society's drastic reordering occurs, weapons will be currency, and I will be a fucking millionaire.
Oh, shut up. Anyways, the AP pistol, in my opinion, it's unlocked last out of all of these, as the machine pistol and the mini SMG are unlocked at level 1, and the micros unlocked at level 11. This is unlocked at level 33. However, it's very cheap at only 5,000. It has, I think it has the most damage out of all of them. It has a great fire rate. It's pretty good. It's basically a laser. And it has the biggest magazine as well, with extended clip. And everything else uses the same magazine. This doesn't.
Lady buy a flamethrower from
Anyways, like, it's probably the best pistol to use in the in the game for attacking in cars. It's definitely the best, which is why it's coming in at number 11. It's just cheap. It's a cheap weapon. And it's a lot of fun to use. Anyways, let's move on to number 10. Coming in at number 10 is actually the high-end apartments. Now, the high-end apartments, you can buy them here in Money and Service. You buy them from Dynasty 8. You click here. Now, I think this is this one here, the penthouse suite, but you can see there's a lot of them. You can get the stilt apartments, you can get these ones. The best ones, though, in my opinion, have got to be some of the cheaper ones. Stuff like, for example, Del Piro Heights is quite good. Weasel Plaza can be kind of good if you had the money. Tinsel Towers, maybe. Integrity Way and stuff like that. Alpha Street as well is pretty good. But why are these really good? Well, the reason these are so good is because of this room right here. This is the heist room. Now, I haven't got anything set up right now, but you can get some of the initial heists. Now, I do have to say the initial heists definitely are the lowest paying out of all of the heists. However, there is some things you need to know about them, which not many people actually take into account when you're thinking of them. If you look at the heist update, which I haven't done too much for, you can actually see there's a lot of stuff like loyalty and criminal mastermind. These three achievements here, criminal mastermind, loyalty, and the and all in order, are actually insanely good. If you do these at the same time, you can get, I think it's like 20, I think you get like 12 million or something ridiculous like that. Like, I'm not even joking. This is how much you can, you know, how much damage you take. Like, for example, All in Order gives you, you know, that will give you 1 million. This will give you 1 million. This will give you 10 million. So if you can find, you know, 10 people, if you can find 3 other people who are really good at the game, and you're pretty good, you know, that's 10 million. And the heists themselves they pay, they're not as good as other heists, like Doomsday, like Diamond Casino. However, they still have some decent payouts. Pacific Standard can give out some pretty good ones. Fleecer can give out some okay ones, but it's quite easy to do Fleecer. There's also, as well as this, another good thing, trade prices for some of the stuff like the, if I go on to, can't find it, shit, that's the wrong one. But if you sort by price, if you scroll all the way down to you can get a trade price for the armoured Kuruma, which is very good, because the armoured Kuruma is one of, which I'll talk about the armoured Kuruma a little bit later. But you can also get stuff for stuff like the Hydra, which is a really powerful jet. You can get stuff for the trade prices for stuff like, there's a few more. There's which one is it? There was not the Barak. It's mostly the stuff. Anything from the heist update, you can get the trade price for. The Valkyrie, the Hydra, the Insurgent, the Savage. You can get a lot of stuff from this, which is why the you can get. I think there's one of the there's like one card as well you can get, which is why it's getting the number 10 spot. Anyways, let's move on to number 9. Coming in at number 9 is actually something which most people are probably going to be like, why is this, you know? But it's actually the Oppressor Mark II. Now, I'm pretty sure you can also put the Oppressor here, but the reason why I think this is a great thing to grab is it's the most powerful vehicle in the game. Now, it's, as you can see, it's very fast, very mobile, very strong in general, like, and it's quite, but the only real downside is the price. Now, if you go on to the, you should get it on War Stock, and you can see the price for this thing, you know, almost 3 million. This is with the trade price. Now, in order to get the trade price is actually quite easy to get, which is that, well, the reason it's so good is because, you know, it requires 5 client jobs to be done on the terabyte, which aren't that hard to do. The terabyte, again, is pretty much needed to get this to its full potential, which is with the rockets and with like the flares and the chaff and stuff like that. And you can see how quick this is. Like, this piece is incredibly quick. It's a very fast, very powerful vehicle, and it's probably the most overpowered vehicle in the game. Now that really brings on to its biggest weakness, which is the stigma around it. People will actually believe that if you're flying around on this thing, that you are going to kill them. And I've had people actively try and attack me, not only go after me, just because I was in the oppressor. I hadn't done anything to them, not even fired a rocket. I was just flying around the map, minding my own business, trying to trigger the Kasparo job. Well, not the Kasparo job, the Kasparo pistol. And I had some guy follow me in a, I can't remember what jet it was, but he was trying to fly, he was following me around in a jet, trying to shoot me down. I did nothing to him, and he was sending mercenaries after me. I think he put a bounty on my head, and it was just stuff like that. And I'm just like, mate, what the fuck did I do to warrant that? If anything, this guy was being like, and that's not even, that's just one occurrence. There's been a couple more like this, and people just, you see an oppressor, and I'm guilty of this as well. If I see an oppressor, I'm usually kind of a bit cautious about it. But anyways, which is why I think this is number 9 and not like number 1, because this, you still have to worry about the stigma of the oppressor, which is pretty big. Anyways, let's move on to number 8. Coming in at number 8 is actually the bunker. Now the bunker is a pretty cool thing in general. You can see here, there's a lot, there's a lot to like about the bunker. Now, first off, it's not, it's not a perfect business. There's a few cons with it. It's quite expensive to get up, and some of its best strengths is also its biggest weaknesses. Now, you can see there, you can see 2 bars at the bottom, well, 3 bars at the bottom, which are supplies, research, and stock. Now, I'm actually focusing on research with this bunker. The reason why is because I really want to get the, I just want to just do the research, because I get money elsewhere outside of bunkers. So, I don't use bunkers for, I use it for the research. And you can see here some of the stuff you can get research. You can get, I've got explosive rounds, there's thermal scopes here, you can get like some sights. Now some of these are a bit useless, like you can get some like weapon skins and stuff like that, which are really shit. Like, they look cool, but they're not what you want. You also can, it's the only place where you can get the mobile command center, which has access to some jobs which you can do to reduce, which gives you trade prices for stuff like the Ruiner. You can also have like a specialized workshop here. And there's also some mini bonuses you can get. So you can see here, you can customize the stuff. Like you can put in, I can put in like the front and rear turrets. I haven't even done that yet. But yeah, you can also set, you can put some armor on, but I've not done that yet. It's because I don't use this thing, so. But yeah, also this thing in general, it actually has some, it's actually very well armored as well. And I bet this thing can take like 70 rockets at fully armored, which is insane. And I mean, the trailer's not too bad, anyways. And yeah, you can also get some like caddies and stuff like that to drive around, which they're just here for a meme. And I can't drive, so I still can't drive. Anyways, yeah, you can also do like there's a shooting range as well, which I've got. And yeah, the only real downside with this place is, again, the research, really, because there's 50 things to research, and it's essentially a dice roll every time. You can see here, there's the firing range as well, which I've got. Yeah, can I thread the needle here? No, I can't. Anyways, it's a pretty good thing. This you can also, you can also get free weapons and ammo here. There's a Molotov there, which is pretty good, but those are quite rare to find. And yeah, very, very good business in my opinion, but it just falls short, which is why it's coming in at number 8. Anyways, let's move into number 7. Coming in at number 7 is actually is actually the MC businesses. Now, the MC businesses, at the moment, I'm on my Securo Serve CEO, but basically, and also since I'm in a private session, I can't actually show them, so I'm just going to stick here on the clubhouse. But basically, they're one of the main businesses you can have in the game. You can find, there's a few businesses like here, there's scattered around. There's one like behind this closed door. But basically, what they do is they're essentially a passive way of making money. Kind of like the Nightclub, kind of like the Bunker as well, which was at number 8. They're also like stuff like the Bunker, the Nightclub, the Agency in a way. But really, what these have is that they are really powerful. Not as powerful as the Bunker, and not as powerful as the Nightclub, but still pretty powerful nonetheless. Now, the main thing is, this thing is very friends oriented. The game expects you to have a crew of about 3, 4 people, which is why it's pretty much required, to have about 2, 3 people for this, for when you do these cell jobs. Some of these are very, very unfriendly for a solo player. And some of these jobs are just plain white, just awful. You have stuff like the fucking, there's the garbage, the ones where you're in the bin trucks, which are awful, by the way. Those ones are awful. And then you have that post office one, which is like, every time I see that, I just want to Alt F4. But it's a really good way to make money, especially with the upgrade, which it goes into its next con. Essentially, without the upgrades, you won't make any money with this. With the upgrades, you start making some money, even as a solo player. But without the upgrades, you're basically, this is pointless. But with the upgrades, which I've got quite a few of them, it's pretty good. And it also boosts the Nightclub, which I'll mention a little bit later. Spoiler alert. Anyways, let's now move on to number 6. Coming in at number 6 is the Armored Kuruma. Now, this thing is just great. I'm going to put in stuff like the Night Shark, the Insurgent, the Duke of Death, basically any armoured vehicle in this game. Now, I'm focusing on the Kuruma in general because it's the easiest to get, from my experience. But basically, the Armoured Kuruma is essentially it's a fast car, it does a lot and it can take a lot of bullets. This thing is essentially impossible to be shot out of if you're against NPCs. I've thrown up this against Juggernauts, I've thrown this up against... I've seen people do this in the Act 3 with those Juggernauts that turn invisible. I've seen people do that, use this against those Juggernauts. I've seen people use this, basically against anything. And the Kuruma, again, it's quite cheap. It's very... Shut up, JT. But it's very quick. It's pretty good, and it's a really good investment, especially very early on in the game. Which is why it's getting the number 6. Because it's a very great early game investment. It's one of, in my opinion, the best early game investments. Anyways, let's move on to number 5. Coming in at number 5 is The Office, and just really the entirety of the, pretty much the entirety of just this whole thing in general. The reason it's so good, The Office is so good, is because, well, you can make... it's basically the quickest way to make a lot of money. Now, if you don't know, The Office, for example, is actually quite cheap. Like this one here, this is Maze Bank West. It costs you $1 million. But you also get some pretty good amounts of money. Now, what's also great about this is that you can actually buy warehouses, which you can use to store goods for import-export. And these missions are very easy, very cheap, they're very quick. Well, there's 2 types, there's cargo and cars. Now, cargo is really, it's quite cheap, very easy, and you have, and you basically get over double the reward for it, especially if you're using free. If you're using the free things, you get like a max out warehouse. You'll get more than double the input, which is why it's really good. For the car warehouse, you will pretty much be guaranteed about 4 times as much input, at least, maybe even more, depending on how well you do in the missions. And even if in double weekends, where you get like extra stuff, you can get like which just passed actually. You can actually get insane amounts, which is why they're coming in at number 5. Anyways, let's move on to number 4. Coming in at number 4, it's got to be the terabyte, as you can see here. Now, as you can see, I've got this whole thing fully upgraded. You can see there's the weapon bench. There's the, which I mentioned earlier. You can see there's a few stuff like here. Like you can see a drone station here. Now, why is the terabyte at number 4? Well, mostly there's 2 reasons, and they're both in my line of sight right now. First is this touchscreen computer, which allows you to basically buy stuff. Now, obviously, I'm in a private client. I'm in a private session, but if you're in a public, you should be able to see this. If you have a what's it? If you have a hanger, which I do, but obviously I've got all of these. But if you have a hanger, you can do this. If you have you can do this to get special cargo or vehicle sourcing. You can do this to get gun running supplies. You can do this to get resupplies for bikers at any notice. The only 2 I would recommend doing is this one and this one, on the premise that you can basically just park. What I actually do is park the terabyte around where my warehouses are, and then I just constantly just cycle between my warehouses using the terabytes, because it's a lot easier than going straight back to the warehouse on and off again. You also get client jobs which give you about 30. They give you about 30k a piece, and they're all pretty easy, to be honest. I would say the best 2, however, are robbery in progress and diamond shopping. They're pretty easy, and yeah, it's generally just quite easy to do. Now, there is one major downside with the Terra, and also of course there's the oppressor modifications, but there is one major downside with the terabyte, and that is its cost. It's about the problem with it is that you need to buy the Nightclub first in order to access this. Now, I would say the Nightclub is probably the best business in the game, but it's only the best business if, and that is a big if, you have many other businesses. So the terabyte's kind of more like a late game convenience in a way. Anyways, let's move on to number 3. Coming in at number 3 is actually the Nightclub itself. Now, as you guys all well know, the Nightclub is probably the ultimate business. Now, the reason it's the ultimate business is basically great for making essentially passive income. Now, this has made me probably about $1 million already in just the popularity stuff. You can see here 1.2 million and I haven't really been using it much. At the moment, if I sell, you can see here I can make almost another $1 million from this. Now, the reason it's so good is the warehouse management. Now, you need to actually be... Now, doing this actually requires a lot of planning. Now, basically, this is going to be... Now, this looks kind of confusing, but I'll explain this quite quickly. Basically, when you set up your Nightclub, you can basically start building, warehouse space, storage space down below, which you can use in conjunction with your other businesses that you've already bought to basically, start producing goods. Now, you can see here there's 7 here. The best 7 to grab are cargo and shipments, sporting goods, South American imports, pharmaceutical research, and cash creation. Those 5, if you have all 5, those are the big 5 to grab first. South American export, I think sporting goods and pharmaceutical research are the best 3 to grab early. So is cargo and shipments as well. But you really want to get the South American imports and the pharmaceutical research done quick, because they give you the most money per you know, the most money per hour investment, whereas sporting goods and cargo and shipment, yeah, they produce more, like by a lot more, but it takes a lot more longer. Like you can see here, sporting goods actually has given me, you know, for this, you know, for near enough the time it's taken, it's basically taking the exact same time really to produce the same amount. Sporting goods, again, you can see here, it's taken a lot longer. You know, it's taken a bit longer, and it's not got as much as pharmaceutical research or South American exports. Now, all of these are linked to another business. Cargo and shipments is linked to either the warehouse or the hangar. It doesn't matter which, it's both. Sporting goods is linked to the bunker. South American imports is linked to the cocaine lab. Pharmaceutical is linked to the meth lab. Organic produce is linked to the weed lab, to the weed farm. Printing and copying is linked to the document forgery, and cash creation is linked to the what's the other? I can't remember which one it is, but it's one of the it's the cash, the fake cash factory. And you can see here the goods, you know, you can also get these from business battles as well. You can get some goods from business battles. But again, you need to know all of this. You need to have a lot of stuff. So I'd recommend going into this when you start, you know, when you have at least these 5 stuff. So the warehouse, the sporting stuff, all of that. That's when you should probably start going for this. Anyways, let's move on to number 2. Coming in at number 2 is the agency. Now, as you can see, the agency is just... I mean, the agency has it all, really.
Everything okay?
The agency has it all. First, well, he's not here. You know, there's a lot of things to love about the agency, which is why it's really coming in at number 2. Now, the main thing is, first off, the first thing is a passive business. It's not that powerful as a passive business, but as you need to actually go and use do these agency contracts. I haven't done too many of them, but you know, you have to do these security contracts. But they give you quite a bit. You can see here this is with the XP. And I've done quite a few. You can see here, I've only done 2 contracts and I've nearly made, you know, I nearly made 200,000. And there's also the VIP contract, which at the moment it's only the Dre contract, which will give you a $1 million, which will give you a 1 million payout on finishing that contract. That is insane. And that's not even, by the way, that's already quite a lot. You know, 1 million from one mission is crazy. But that's not even why there's 3 more reasons why. The second reason, the next reason is this room here. This is ammunition 2.0. This is essentially you basically get a free ammunition, which you have a 5% discount. You also get the stun gun and a few other things. You can buy ammo, you can buy weapons, you can buy attachments, you can buy tints, you can buy everything for this at a discount. You can even do this with the Mark II weapons. So you can see here, I can buy, you know, Mark II stuff with, you know, I don't have many, but I can, you know, use the Mark II warehouse to get quite a bit. I can even upgrade stuff here without using the Mark II warehouse. So this basically makes the number 15 spot on this list obsolete. I was saying it earlier. You can see here you can bring out like now. There is one major downside is that you can see. I'll show you here. You can't actually buy the stuff early like you could with the workshop, where you could buy stuff like the heavy sniper early. But on the premise that you basically get like a 5% discount, which goes a long way, by the way, because some of these can have like quite heavy, you know, heavy costs. basically, there's no reason to go to ammunition ever again with these. Which is why, without question, you know, that alone would get it number 2. But there's 2 other bits as well. The next bit is actually the garage. Now, I'm not going to actually show you this because I don't have anything down there. But you can actually modify some vehicles. I can actually find some of the vehicles you can modify. But it's basically almost every vehicle that was added alongside the update. So, stuck with the contract update. So, like, you know, the Jubilee, the, you know, stuff like this. You know, quite a lot of these, quite a lot of these can actually be fitted with lock-on jammers, which means that you can actually stop people in Oppressor Mark IIs from locking onto you, which is incredible. Now, the final reason, unfortunately, isn't here, but well, you can see it right there. That's the main reason to buy it. You can pet shop. I'm not even joking. You actually can pet shop in this game. And I remember when I first saw this cutscene as well, I literally freaked out because it was such a huge moment. You know, seeing Franklin and Chop again, and also the whole Dr. Dre's quest line as well. Just Dr. Dre, just having Dr. Dre in general is insane. Anyways, I could literally gush about this thing for hours, and it's only at number 2. So let's move on to what I think is number 1. At number 1, and this is just too easy. It's got to be the Kasparo. Now, the reason the Kasparo is number 1, it's this Cayo Perico heist. You can see there how much I can make from this. Now, I'm obviously not going to make I'm not going to make 2.5 mil from this, but you can come very close. I've seen, you know, hauls where people have gotten 2 million from this. Yeah, that's actually doable. You can get like 2 million for one player. One player can get like 2 million in this. You can also get some really cool stuff in here, like you can see here. You can get the Sparrow. There's also stuff like, I think you can get a Torberg, something like that, which is like a more upgraded Stromberg. You also get like a submarine as well with the moon pool. You also get these cool missiles, which are some of my favourite things to grab. But critically again, it has to be for the heist. Now, Cayo Perico is by far the best way to make money in this game. You can see here, I know it's on hard, but getting 1.2 million from this, a guaranteed 1.2 million, and having, albeit some bad luck with weed and cash, having that appear is really good. It's insane. And this thing costs only 2.2 million, by the way. You earn that back super quickly. You're guaranteed 1.1 million, by the way, on your first heist with this. Because you get, by default, you get the Majazo files, which are worth 1.1 million. And it's just great. Anyways, I'm going to end the video here. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Leave your thoughts in the comments on, you know, some other things. Obviously, I exclude stuff like the agency and the, which will probably come in at like number 2 or 3, to be honest. But I haven't unlocked it yet because I just don't want to be I'm not focusing on Doomsday or the kind of Diamond Casino heist. But anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Leave your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.